A former chief executive of the Volta River Authority, Dr. Charles Wekubobe, is asking government to renegotiate the agreement covering the car power barge expected to help end the country's protracted energy crisis. The 225 megawatts barge currently on the high seas sailing towards Ghana is due in the country before the end of the month. Now, Dr. Charles Wekubobe is of the opinion the facility is no longer needed, especially because it was procured as an emergency option, which justified the costs at the time. The energy expert also backed plans to privatize the electricity company of Ghana, disclosing exclusively to Joy News he intends to put in a bid.
I welcome car power when it was first proposed because it was needed a year ago when most of our thermal plants were down. Now most of our thermal plants are working, and you understand with the charging of these plants, car power should have to be deployed into 100% production because it's got the highest capacity charge of any plant, thermal plant coming to Ghana.
So we can't afford to let it sit idle.
Exactly, but the point that we have to ask is, 1 year after it was delayed, is it really necessary?
It may not be necessary, and I would want to agree with you, but what do we do with it? Because we have it on our hands. We can't avoid it.
No, you see.
So what do you propose we do with the car power barge?
What I propose is that we renegotiate what we are paying them. You see, the word emergency denotes that you pay a value added, right? So it is no longer an emergency. And therefore, what we ought to do with car power is negotiate it almost as a normal additional thermal plant that we are bringing in. We cannot say that car power is an emergency when it's been so long in the works. So we need to do that. In an emergency, you are allowed to sole source. Okay, we couldn't do it. But we need to look at the comparative costs of car power vis-a-vis alternative producers who are not allowed to bring in their bids and their quotations because we're trying to do so in a hurry. So we have moved from an emergency to a normal situation.
And probably it's a good time to, I guess, also forget about the second one.
Oh, that one should completely be forgotten. Completely be forgotten. You see, we are in a funny situation. We paid $100 million to car power as warranty, and then we can't pay the people who are actually supplying us with gas. We are not able to pay Asogli. We are not able to pay N-Gas. Our own Ghana gas is dying because it's not being paid. Look, all the equipment, I'm told, are on the verge of extinction. The way in which these plants are actually structured in terms of cost, there is always a capacity charge. So that means you are paying for the equipment when it's sitting there delivering no power. So we could have ourselves in a situation where we have a graveyard of power plants for which we are paying capacity charge, and they are not giving us power.
Now, one final issue I'd like to, pick your minds on, that has to do with ECG and the intended privatization or, handing over ECG to a concessionaire. Yes. What's your thoughts about that?
My thought? I'm bidding to run ECG.
All right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the name of your company?
Ghana Power Distribution Company.
He's still talking, but we'll be giving you the news distribution here because a local chapter of Transparency International, Ghana Integrity Initiative, is calling on the president to immediately appoint a substantive commissioner for the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, to enable it effectively run the organization. The executive secretary of GII, Vital Azim, also wants the release of the report on the investigations that led to the termination of the appointment of the former SHRAJ commissioner, Loretta Lamte.
For almost a year now, we've had only 2 commissioners who are both deputy commissioners. We don't have a substantive commissioner. And we think that we need a substantive commissioner so that he or she will run the place effectively. Now, one of the reasons for having 3 commissioners is that SHRAJ has 3 mandates. It has the human rights mandate, it has the administrative justice mandate, it has the anti-corruption mandate. So we believe that a commissioner is responsible for each of those three. And now that we don't have the third one, or the substantive commissioner, it means we have only two that are forced to combine to do three things. Richard Kwesi is a deputy commissioner, he's acting. He's the most senior of the two deputy commissioners, so he's acting. And we're saying that we are not interested in whoever will be appointed. If they want to appoint him, confirm him as commissioner, fine. But that also means they have to appoint a deputy commissioner to replace him. If they also want to go outside and appoint a commissioner, we're okay with that. We just want to have three commissioners, because if you look at SHARC, SHARC is not like any of the other institutions. It has no board of directors.
A typical example of how the NDC government has since 2001 plundered state coffers. Well, that's not coming from me, because that's how the New Patriotic Party has described the latest financial scandal at the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority, the DVLA.
Under the contract, the DVLA is reported to have made questionable payment to Photorex, a company contracted to print driver licenses. Yet the printing was delayed, creating a backlog of more than 200,000 unprinted licenses. Speaking at a news briefing on Wednesday, acting chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, demanded a thorough investigation.
The DVLA case is another clear case of create, loot, and share, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike the original contract under the NPP government, and typical of this present government, the NDC, this new contract, that's the renewed contract, was awarded through sole sourcing without any competitive tender. On top of that, the new sole source contract actually included less items than the original contract. However, it was more expensive. The renewed contract was for $3.6 million. That is $900,000 million, $900,000 more than the original contract. On top of all that, not happy with inflation, or not happy with inflating the sum of the renewed contract by nearly $1 million for doing far less, the contract was further inflated by nearly 300%.
The Ghana Water Company has started spilling excess water from the Wager Dam.
The company says the spillage is necessary to safeguard the dam from possible damage or collapse because of a sudden rise in the water level above the safe operating level. Here's our colleague Matilda Womaga with more.
The Wager Dam, according to the Ghana Water Company Limited, has a maximum depth of 50 feet. The safe operating level is supposed to be 47 feet, but as at Wednesday morning, the level was at 48 feet, prompting officials to open 2 spill gates. According to the company, they will continue to spill at 6 inches until the dam reaches the 47 feet safe operating level. But anytime the spill gates are open to enable the excess water flow downstream, a lot of communities are exposed to risk of flooding and loss of property. Communities like Oblogo, Thethegu, and Lower McCarthy Hill are often the worst hit when the spill gates are open. The residents, though aware of the danger ahead, say they do not have plans of relocating.
Times if the dam is full and they have to open the dam, when the dam has to pass, but at times they have sold those land to the people to be living there. As they open the dam, it disturbs them. But the stateholder, the community holders too, they know that where they are selling is not good, but they are still selling it. Everybody can wake up and sell the land for anybody he likes.
So you think that is because they are selling the lands along the waterway that is causing all this?
Yes. Because the way they are selling those waterways, that is causing all these things.
Because at times,
We do not have plans of relocating. Relocating to a different community means paying for rent, and we do not have money for that. So we can't relocate.
Like a dime over what same baby cry is to the end to
What do you mean to say?
into there's essentially you mother that buy it.
This has been our home for years. We are used to the flooding. We do not have plans to relocate.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Company says it is collaborating with the various municipal and district assemblies, NATMO, and national security to educate the general public on the essence of evacuating such communities to forestall any eventuality. Matilda Pamaga for Joy News.
Well, let's mainstream subjects of the news next on the economy, because inflation rate for October 2015 is 17.4%. It's the same figure recorded for September.
Even though the monthly change rate for October was 2.7% compared to negative 0.1% recorded for September 2015, the national inflation figure remained unchanged. Now, government statistician Philomena Nyako attributes the figure to high cost of vegetables, mineral water and soft drinks within the month under review.
We see that in October 2015, the year-on-year inflation rate was 17.4%. This is the same as the rate recorded in September 2015. For the monthly change rate, we have 2.7% recorded for October 2015, while that for September 2015 was negative 0.1%. The year-on-year non-food inflation rate for October 2015 was 23.0%, compared with the 23.2% recorded in September 2015. What it means is that in October, things were a bit higher. The prices of things were slightly higher than what we found in September 2015. The annual figure, we are looking at what the base rate was in October 2014. So the calculation is different. This one we are just doing monthly changes.
Living Covenant, the homeless man known to offer spiritual counseling and guidance to several of Accra's residents, has died.
A very popular figure, especially around the Nima roundabout, where he's made his home. Living Covenant was found dead by some passers-by. His death comes just about 3 weeks after his debut interview here on Joy News. MFA Ewenam Atiamo Eli, who conducted that earlier interview, visited the area again after he was pronounced dead by the police.
On October 21st this year, when I interviewed him, Living Covenant challenged assertions he was insane. Somebody passing by would think that you are mentally challenged. You don't look. Are you mad, if I should ask?
I'm not mad. You know people that normally concluded that way? People that knew that I came to this country to arrest, expose them.
He, however, was unresponsive today.
Living Covenant has gained popularity on this pavement because he's been offering spiritual guidance to a number of people who come to consult him on so many issues. This afternoon, Joy News had the information that Living Covenant had passed. So I quickly got here to check if the information was really true. I've been here for the past 10 minutes and I've been trying to call him. He seemed to be sleeping and he's not responding. I'm trying again. If you respond to my call. Living Covenant. Living Covenant. This is MFA from Joy News. Living Covenant. Well, as you can see, he's still not responding to my call. I can't really tell whether he's really dead, but the best I can do at the moment is to report to the police who are just nearby the Nima police station.
The police, after pronouncing him dead, called in an ambulance to convey his body to the morgue. Members of the community explained they had observed on Wednesday morning Living Covenant interacting with some clients until late morning when he stopped responding to cheers from his fans who who went by his place.
You see him, the way he speaks, the way he relates with the people, but of late, before he passed on, you could see that he doesn't talk the way he talks. Sometimes when he knows somebody, and then you are passing by to either the police station or to Accra, he tries calling you. Are you getting me? So, but before he passed on, you could see that the strength is no more there. So he couldn't do what he was doing in the past.
And how long has this been?
Oh, for the past 2 weeks. I've been told by one of our largest in the area, who normally writes for one of the newspapers, that he came to interview him 3 weeks ago. But 3-4 days ago, when he was passing, you could see that the man was not in good condition.
There is no word yet as to the cause of death. The only known survivor of living covenant is a medium-sized cat dressed quite like him. MFI Ewenam Atiamwa Eli for Joy News.
A very emotional report that you can see the quivering. You can feel the quivering nature of MF's voice. We know it's a tragic circumstance.
It's sad, isn't it?
And we're told also that he's been pronounced dead officially by the police.
Yeah. Now, if you've seen him and if you heard the report, you saw it, and you want to say something now that he's passed, of course you can do so on our WhatsApp platform, which is 056-0800-1000. Let us know how you feel.
WhatsApp, we have a couple of the messages. It seems as if this is officially yours. She uses an iPad, though. Whoever sent that message, be careful.
Okay. I tell you what we'll do. So many messages that we've received right now. So we'll come back and do the newspapers and also check out what the other news portals are reporting. And then we'll get into some of your messages. How about that?
I think that's the way to go.
Okay.
I'll wait for that break. We'll be right back.